Hello, here we are in Lesson 12 of Negotiate Value. We're working on building our options so we can push the potential value out of every deal. This is a golden age for options because there are more solutions in the marketplace than ever before. But solutions is one of those words that a lot of people use. I find when working with clients, many of them don't really understand what is meant by a solution, and they haven't yet mastered the key distinction between a solution and a vendor. And that's critical to understand if you want to get the most value. So let's dive into that in this lesson. And we're going to start with something to illustrate that I know you understand, and that is pizza. So let's say it's Friday afternoon and you say, we're having pizza for dinner. That sounds exciting, it's a good plan, but it leaves a lot unsaid because there are many different ways you could do that. You could go out to a restaurant and order pizza. You could make pizza at home from scratch, starting with the dough, adding the sauce, and the toppings. You could have pizza delivered to you. Or you buy a frozen pizza and bake that at home. So these are all different pizza solutions. Now, we're not yet talking about the vendor, that is what restaurant you'd go to or what brand of pizza you might buy. We're just talking about different ways that you might get that pizza to you so you can eat it and enjoy it. These are different pizza solutions. If that sounds like a little much for your Friday night, well, remember, this is negotiate value. So whether it's your pizza or something else, we're going to get the most value out of this. And that means we're employing our best skills, our strategic skills of understanding what drives our value and then building our options. And that's what we're going to do for this pizza. So let's simply look at a few pros and cons for these different solutions for getting pizza. If we make the pizza at home, that sounds like a lot of work, but it also could be a lot of fun, especially if we're doing that with friends. A frozen pizza is probably the lowest quality. On the other hand, it's also very inexpensive. Now, delivery is probably the worst nutritional option of all of these. However, it's very easy. Just dial a few numbers and half an hour later, we've got our pizza. If we go out to a good restaurant, that's going to be expensive. On the other hand, it's probably the best taste. So, do you see here, we're just evaluating this at the solution level. We're not yet talking, again, about which restaurant we'd go to or which brand of pizza we'd get. And you understand the implication. It wouldn't really be fair to compare a frozen pizza to a high-end restaurant pizza and say, well, that frozen pizza is much less expensive, so it's a better deal. Because, again, we're looking at the value here, and so we need to think about what solution is right for us. Now, we talked about the solution before we talked about the vendor, and then finally we're getting to the price. This is the hierarchy in which you need to look at things. When a client hires me to look at a strategic area of spend or to maybe to look at something new that they want to buy, I always say, well, this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to start by determining what the right solution is for you. Then we'll find the best vendor, and then we'll be sure to get a competitive price. But it needs to be in that order because solution is what's going to really drive the value. And if we start with a price, you might get the best price, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the best overall value or the lowest total cost once you implement that and use that in your environment. Now, the reason it's important to look at solution before vendor is because some vendors don't offer all solutions. And if you start talking to a vendor and you fall in love with them, they're going to steer you to the solution that they like the most and that they sell the best. So it's important to look at these things at least in tandem, if not to just determine up front what's the right solution first before you start looking at a vendor. This is more important than ever because there are more solutions than ever before. I said that earlier, but I want to now expand on that and talk through a few of the things that businesses buy every day for which there are solutions more than ever before. We'll start with software. It used to be you'd buy software in a box and you'd install it into your machine. Now you can get cloud-based software for almost every category of software. That has a lot of implications on who owns the software and where it's housed, on the term of the software, all these things. Look at office space. The traditional model is you get a long-term lease for your office. Now there are different ways to do it. You might have more people working at home. You might do a shared tenant relationship where you don't have specific offices, but you have office available to you whenever you need it. These are different office space solutions. What about marketing? Well, your company does something for marketing. You may have an in-house marketing department. You may work with an adjunct outsourced marketing firm. You may go to a specialty firm that deals with the media you want to deal with, a print media firm or a digital media firm. There are lots of different ways to approach marketing, lots of different solutions. And then office products, something as simple as that. Well, you can go to the store and get office products when you need them, or you can order them online and have them shipped to you. You can even have a company monitor your office products and then replenish them automatically when they get low without you even doing anything. There are many different approaches to something as simple as office products. Printing is another good example. You can print on a high-end printer and assemble documents yourself. You can print on a printer and then copy them on a fast copier that you've leased. Or you can put that all on the local printer down the street. Just give them the files and have them do everything. So these are different solutions for a lot of things that we buy every day in our companies. And on the right side in yellow are simply some dimensions by which these things vary, right? Who owns it? Where is it located? Who's doing the work? What's the scale and size of what we're buying? And of course, what's the technology? Because all this drives innovation, all these different solutions. Now, that brings us to our homework this week. We want to look at something that you're buying in your office, look at one of your top 5 vendors, and then brainstorm about what solutions are available for what you're buying there. So we're going to go to something similar to what we looked at with the pizza, where we're taking a look at different solutions on the left, in the leftmost column, and in the second column doing a quick review. Well, what are the pros and cons of that solution? What you see we've added here are columns for specific vendors. And then checklists, because as we mentioned earlier, not every vendor will offer every solution. And the clients that are really advanced and buying well are those that can do a cross-reference between vendors that are out there and the solutions that they offer. You need to look at these two things in tandem and see where they match. So that's what we're doing in a simple area in your company spend. Now, if you're on the selling side, this is also a great exercise to do for the solution that you're selling. And you probably offer more than one solutions. Do you offer a solution where you do more of the work yourself? Do you offer a solution that's fully self-serve, the client does everything? Do you offer some that have different terms over different lengths? There are lots of different angles by which you may vary your product and offer different solutions. And if not you, then certainly your competitors offer some differing solutions. So map that all out in this spreadsheet or in the worksheet, and that's the homework assignment for today. Now, I want to add a bonus to this, going back to the solution, vendor, and price. You're working with some vendors that are key to you that you're spending a lot of money with. And what I want to encourage you to do is kind of back up there for one of those vendors, to go to one of your top vendors and simply ask them, what other solutions do you offer? Now, if that's a strange question to them, there are a couple ways that you can get at it that are both useful. And one is to say, well, we're looking to decrease our price. What way could we do that? What solutions do you offer that would be lower cost to you and lower price for us? Another thing to ask is, what are your best customers doing? What would you do with us if we would do anything you said we could do to get the most value out of what we're selling? And they may simply say buy more, but what they'll probably say is, well, you can do it a little differently. You can buy it this way or employ this solution, and that could bring you even more value. So these are great conversations to have with your vendors. Do the worksheet, talk to one of your vendors, and I'll see you in Lucky Lesson 13.